to Beyond Focus TV. My name is Angie Daniel, and you are watching us on Channel 68 on Cable Vision. We are here every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. On tonight's show, we have with us Mr. Kevin Johnson. He is the CEO of Crystal Manor, which is located in Brooklyn, New York. When we come back, we're going to have an intensive conversation with him about all of the things, the differences that he's making in Brooklyn. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, we are here with Mr. Kevin Johnson. He is the CEO of Crystal Manor. Sir, welcome.
Thank you so much, Angie, for having me on the show.
Oh, you're so welcome. I know that you're a very, very extremely busy person within the community. Before we start a conversation about what you do within the community, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, background-wise.
Sure. Well, I was born in England and raised here in Brooklyn, New York. My parents are of Caribbean heritage. My father is from Barbados, and my mom is from St. Vincent. Schooling-wise, I went to Brooklyn Technical High School and then matriculated through Clark Atlanta University with a concentration in accounting and marketing and finance.
Wow, very good, very good. I would like for you to tell the community what it means to be, first, of Caribbean descent, living in Brooklyn and making a difference. Two, what it means to be part of such a huge organization, because Crystal Manor has been in Brooklyn for a very long time, and your father has made such a difference within the community. Can you tell us those two?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, I always tell this story. Mom came to this country pretty much with 2 shillings in her pocket, and pretty much was self-made. Began as a nurse, and then I always say, as a young child, watching Mom start her business really from the home, and then moving from the home to the garage, and then from the garage onto Flatbush Avenue. And that was over 20 years ago. So for me, growing up in a family of entrepreneurs, my grandfather as well was an entrepreneur, it gives me great sense of pride in my community and knowing that we can kind of pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. So I'm a proud product of that environment.
Okay. So the second part of my question was that, can you tell us what it means to be part of such legacy? I understand that you guys just closed the bar and lounge part of it. So how does that feel?
It feels great. Actually, I did my closing party last night, and it feels great. 7 years of business in the community, and also just learning the power of real estate. So I'll still own the building and still will be leasing the space to a new owner. So of about 3 months of renovation, it should be opening back under a new name, new owner. So very excited just to take the next chapter and really take over and succeed Mom as a CEO of Crystal Manor. So I'm very, very excited about this next chapter in business.
I know that the community is probably wondering, is Crystal Bar and Lounge different from Crystal Manor, the catering hall?
Yes, it is. Basically, about 7 years ago, we did construction to join the 2 buildings, but they're 2 separate businesses. So Crystal Manor, I'm very happy to say, will be thriving. We're off to our best year in business in 16 years. And I just felt it was time to really focus in on that pretty much core asset as opposed to the bar and lounge. So I'm very excited about that new venture.
Oh, so you're saying that Crystal Manor in itself is still going to be here within the community, serving
Absolutely.
the community? Because I think one of the things that the producer and I, we've talked about is the difference that your parents are making within the community and how they need to, I mean, I guess sometimes, like if you have a cat, right, you see your cat around the neighborhood all the time and you don't acknowledge that it's there. But knowing that the difference that they're making, we need to acknowledge them. So understanding that Crystal Manor will still be around is a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Part of my conversation with you earlier was the understanding of you as an entrepreneur within the community. What is it that you're doing and where?
Sure. So I think part of my focal point in terms of working in the community is I chair the board of the Flatbush Notion Junction Business Improvement District.
Okay.
And I believe there are over 68 bids in New York City in various communities. Some of the more popular ones that people may have heard of are the Myrtle Avenue bid. So you see the revitalization in Myrtle Avenue, looking to do the same thing in the Flatbush Junction corridor. So pretty much what happens in a business improvement district is we are charged with helping the community with marketing, sanitation, really economic development. So I'm very happy to have a great board of directors. And among my board of directors, I have Brooklyn College. We just invited the new Target to be on the board.
Okay.
CAs on the board. Really a way for the community to come together, look at this initiatives in the community, and really drive that agenda.
So basically, because I want, because I'm hearing you, I want the community to understand like the basic concept of what it means for Flatbush Notion Junction. What is that in itself?
Sure.
Really?
So at the very core,
Simple words.
Sure. At the very core level,
Yes.
what happens is the city actually levies additional tax on all the property owners,
Okay.
and then that money is put into a pool and funded into our budget. And within that budget, we hire a full-time executive director, and that executive director really works with the merchants in the neighborhood day by day to really help them improve their businesses, learn city regulations. We've just gotten approval for a $4.5 million streetscape project, which basically means new benches, new street curb cutouts, new trees in the neighborhood, basically to beautify the neighborhood to really attract.
From where to where?
It's going to be from Flatbush Avenue and Farragut down to Flatbush and Avenue H, and Nostrand and Avenue H to Nostrand and Glenwood. So that area
So
within.
it's just like those. It's for 4.5 million. It's a small.
Very
like if
much.
you're looking at the area, it's not really a big area.
No.
So how do we get to expand this to?
That's a great idea, and that's something we're looking at. So we'll hope to extend it up Flatbush and eventually down Flatbush, maybe a block or two,
Yeah.
and really impact those communities as well.
Yeah, because I think Notion Avenue need an extreme amount of revamp.
It does.
Seriously, I mean, I
does.
don't know. Is it maybe you can extend the junction, like past junction and take it to Notion Avenue ideas. But seriously, I think as a community, we need to really look into like one neighborhood can make a difference to how well we are received to how bad we are thought. Because I think whenever you talk about Notion Avenue and Flatbush, they think of Caribbeans, right?
That's right.
So for me, Notion Avenue represents, it's like a little Haiti,
It
right?
is.
So right now, I think if we need to define that, we can find different group of people within it. It's how we can change the difference, like with organizations like yourselves. Like, how do we make that happen?
Great, and I think the idea and the concept is for the community to get involved. Although the junction bid is a almost quasi public organization, we have committees, we have marketing committees. So these committees are open to the public. If they want to get involved, we can bring them on and actually have them actually help and do the work necessary to really build that kind of cachet in the neighborhood. We're really a destination. Again, similar to 42nd Street,
Yes.
there's no reason why the junction cannot be that same corridor. And at one point, it's an interesting tidbit, the junction used to be the primary #1 shopping district in Brooklyn.
I have a quick question for you,
Sure.
but we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back because I like the idea of what you're saying. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are having a conversation here with Mr. Kevin Jensen. He is the CEO of Crystal Ball and Crystal Manor. If this is your first time watching us, we are here every Tuesday, 10 p.m., same channel. Like us on Facebook, check us out, give us questions and messages. We'd like to hear from you. Continuing our conversation, we talked about how Notion Avenue changing we have $4.5 million just to change the out front of it. Part of what I was thinking, and then you were mentioning why couldn't Flatbush Avenue look like 42nd Street? Part of it is like we do as much business as 42nd Street, like
right.
on a daily basis. My vision would be for Flatbush Avenue is to have first for the merchants that are in the street, we have to have like one spot for them. Because I don't know if you noticed that. Because when I walk down Flatbush Avenue and Nostrand Avenue, you see everybody have a little table.
Yes.
But another for us to change that is the community have to voice their opinions. And I'm trying to do a whole lot of that. Screaming it out, like getting people to know that, we can change, we can do better. The second part I wanted to ask you is that I don't know if you've ever been to Post Avenue.
No.
It's in Long Island. How every front stores look exactly the same. Why can't we do that for Flatbush?
Actually, we can. We actually have in place a storefront improvement program, which basically allows store owners in that corridor to redo their storefronts, and then the business improvement district reimburses them up to $5,000. So that's one of the ideas. There are several grants out there that the city has available. So a lot
But
of
it's
times,
not mandatory.
it's not mandatory, but we would love to go in that direction. The board has expressed some interest. Now it's just galvanizing the community around the concept, and again, of attracting people to a unified storefront. So when you walk into the,
Yeah, it makes such a big difference.
absolutely.
So if it's not mandatory, it's just a bid. So you have a choice to keep whatever your idea is.
Yes, you do at this point, but we would love the community to actually agree to actually doing something that is unified, that signals to the neighborhood. Once you walk into Farragut and Flatbush, you are in the Flatbush Junction bid.
Exactly.
And when you exit, you'll know it's a
The
stark
difference,
interest.
exactly.
Absolutely, great idea.
I think we should do that. I think it shouldn't be it should. Well, I'm hoping that it's mandatory. But when does it start?
It's already started.
Okay.
It has started. We've had some business take advantage of the program, and now it's just really creating we're going to apply for a grant that's going to allow us to basically hire an architect to give a rendering so we can show the community what it would look like. Sometimes we have a hard time explaining it to them, but we believe if we get the grant money and we show them an idea, they would buy in.
Let me hear this straight.
Sure.
Right now, you're applying for the grant, so you have an idea of how much money you're going to get. So you're looking for an architect.
Right.
You're
Absolutely.
looking for one, right?
Well, not at the moment. We haven't received the grant yet.
So we should still get resumes and
That's right.
architects.
That's right. That's
People
right.
who are interested in creating ventures of how the Flatbush Avenue should look.
That would be
right?
great.
Okay, that's ideas putting out there. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the ventures philanthropy. Can you explain to the community what that is?
Sure. Well, venture philanthropy is a new term that's been coined, and the idea and the concept of venture philanthropy is looking at the first part of venture. Basically, I'm an entrepreneur. We live in a capitalist society, so the idea is to definitely acquire capital. But the second part of philanthropy is taking that capital that we acquire and really having a strong social impact and really, communicating that to community that as you make money, you need to really reinvest in your own community. So
Good.
I'm a strong believer in that concept.
So I know that you're doing a couple of things within the community with that money. So first, talk to us a little bit about the nursing home. Very interesting to understand that you're involved in a nursing home.
Right, so it's actually a nursing agency.
Okay.
So again, that was Mom's first business. She started over
Really?
20 years ago.
Okay.
And again, transferring the legacy, my sister and I basically own that company and run that business to this day. So
Where
what
is
we
it
do,
at?
it's actually on the third floor of Crystal Manor. So we're
Okay.
looking for LPNs, RNs. We have several cases. We have work available. If there are
Really?
nurses out there that are looking for work, they're more than welcome to come into our office. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day.
All right.
And come and register, and then we provide them with employment.
Oh, okay. So you're looking at, can you give us the address again? Because I have a couple of people who are watching actually are looking for
Sure.
work.
It's 1460 Flatbush Avenue, and it's the third floor, and I'll give you the phone number. It's 718-421-2260.
Okay, so that's for the nursing home agency.
Correct.
All right, that's one part of it. The second part of it is the real estate. So what are you involved in terms of real estate? I know that you run a couple of buildings.
Yes. So primary business is Grace Johnson Real Estate. So my mom is a licensed real estate broker here in New York.
My God. She just keeps carrying things.
Yes, and then also we own several properties in the neighborhood, and we manage our own properties. But one project that I'm truly excited about, and I was speaking to my councilman, Jamani Williams, about it, is we have some land which is located on Rogers Avenue between Farragut and Foster. It's a large tract of land, and we're slated to build some affordable housing. So 9 stories, 91 units of affordable housing through the city for the community. So we're pushing hard. As you know, budgets are very tight.
Yes.
It's very political to actually get a project green lighted, but I'm working very closely with our councilman to make sure that our project doesn't get left in the dark, and we can build some affordable housing in our own neighborhood.
Which is extremely needed because right now rent's extremely high. And then instead of making rooms for people who have less money to live, we just kind of kicking them out. So having a housing place where it's for less money affordable to the community in itself, I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
And Jamani Williams is one of, I think once you put him into a project, he's not going to sleep until that's
right.
done.
That's right.
And he works so hard within the community and for the community. So you're doing really good.
Yes, and he's been very, very supportive, as has the borough president and our state senator Kevin Parker and Assemblywoman Rhoda Jenkins, as well as the community board. So they're all for the project. We've got letters of support, and now we're kind of working through the process to get the project built within the next year.
Oh my God, I'm rooting for that. And this is just two of some of the things that you're doing at the trucking company.
Yes, so we have a great partnership, and we're looking to build a mobile truck concept. It's actually being built as we speak, and should be rolling out in a few weeks. So the idea is to bring the Caribbean cuisine onto a mobile truck concept and roll it out into New York City.
So it's cuisine on a truck, is that?
Correct.
Okay, that's good. That's interesting. Let me ask you another question, because I think at the end of the day, being part of community and working within the community is how is the community benefiting from all of this?
Sure. So one of the things that we spoke about earlier, and I'm just very happy to bring this information to the community, is making sure that the community understands the power of small business. So first and foremost, we provide a lot of employment within the community, and then obviously we're able to work with our community board to give back. So we donate to several nonprofit organizations and have a new initiative for nonprofits to work directly with Crystal Manor, and we give them a special discount to do fundraisers and such.
Okay, great. We're going to continue our conversation, but we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are here with Mr. Kevin Jensen from Crystal Manor, right here in Flatbush in Brooklyn. We were talking about ventures, things that you were doing within the community, and we mentioned a couple of them, and you have one last one that you wanted to talk about.
Sure. So I'm also a partner in an venture called 5 Links, and I host a business reception every Wednesday at Crystal Manor at 7:30 sharp. And again, the address is 1460 Flatbush Avenue. And really, we teach wealth principles. We teach success principles. My partner, his name is LaRod Smalls. He's a senior vice president. And we're really about economic empowerment and economic development and really bridging the gap of wealth inequality in America and really the world, and then teaching people how to transfer that wealth to the next generation. So invite everyone down 7:30 every Wednesday to come and listen and just really soak up some wealth and success principles.
Okay, like I heard wealth, I heard principles, but let's get the concept of it. So every Wednesday you teach people how to do what?
We teach people really how to save money, and then those who are interested how to make money.
How to make money.
So the first key to wealth is saving money. The second key principle is how to acquire capital.
So we still talk about the small business ventures.
Sure.
Because there's a couple of things that I think the community is doing in terms of getting people to understand that concept. It's just that, reality of it is that I spoke to someone yesterday and she was telling me, how can I create a business where I have a ton of other things to worry about? But listening to people like yourself talk about how you can save a small amount of money and then taking classes. Do you guys give classes? Is there a place that you send them for grant places like they can apply for grants and things like that?
No, well, not really grants. This is really entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So this is strictly entrepreneurship for those who are interested in entrepreneurship. We really teach those skill sets because I guess I pulled some numbers coming to the show. The 75% of the growth in the country comes from small business. So we like the idea. While jobs are great, we believe you should have a job to be gainfully employed, but then in your part-time, spare time, use that capital that you get from the job to create a business. So we show you how to do that.
How to do that. And another thing that you're a part of is the African art diaspora. Can you tell the community what that means? And, the whole art situation, how it's embedded with Crystal Manor?
Sure. So I chair the board of MOCADA, and it's called mocada.org, and it stands for the Museum of Contemporary African Diasporan Arts. It's located at 80 Hanson Place in the BAM Cultural District here in Brooklyn. So it's a great, beautiful museum. It was founded over 11 years ago by a young lady named Lori Cumbo, and her idea was to bring contemporary art of the diaspora worldwide to the community here in Brooklyn. So we have the Brooklyn Children's Museum, we have the Brooklyn Museum, but here in Brooklyn we don't really have, besides MOCADA, a museum that talks about specifically our culture. So I'm very excited. I'll keep under wraps, but working on a capital campaign to purchase a new building and construct a $10 million project. So again, we welcome the community to come and visit MOCADA and get involved with the vision as we go into our capital campaign for our new building.
Oh, when can they visit?
Sure, they can visit, I believe, Tuesday through Saturday, and it's 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, is it for free? Or is
It's a suggested donation, small donation.
Small donation.
Yes.
Interestingly, still talking about art because, I personally, I know of a lot of artists that are within the community that are working really hard. If they would like to participate, would they be able to display their art?
Absolutely. So it's www.mocada.org, and there's some information there where you can submit your information and meet with the curatorial staff, and they will go through your work and look at the exhibitions and see how they can work directly with the artist.
Okay, great. That's another information that I think the community would be very helpful to have. This is almost the end of our show, and every time we're ending our show, I'd like for me and the community to learn something from the person that we've met with, or actually have an idea. What would be your last word to the community?
Wow. Well, can I end with a story?
Definitely.
Great. So it's a story that my mom shared with me, and those who know me well have heard this story before, and it's called Dip Your Bucket Where You Stand. Okay. So basically there was a ship, and it was out in the ocean one day, and it ran out of food and water. And when they ran out of food and water, they yelled to another ship in the distance, "Ahoy, ahoy, have you any water?" And the reply from the distance came back, "Dip your bucket where you stand." See, what had happened was they were on ocean water, which was salt water, but they drifted onto a freshwater river. So while they were on their last dying breath and needed water, the water was right beneath them, and all they need to do was dip their bucket. So the reason and the analogy in the story for me is that we truly have all the resources in our community. We have this great television show to learn and access information. We have people like Angie doing the community work, but I truly believe we have to reach out. We really have to network, and I love to plug in the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce. I'm a proud product and intern through that, and I learned from my mentor, Dr. Hastic, networking works. We must network. So if I could leave with the community with anything, it's just really, don't just pass someone by. Get the business card and actually use it. Send an email, touch base, do lunch, do something, and really find out what needs you have. And I believe the community has the resources.
And we do have the resources. Not only that we have networking works, it's a matter of just learning from your community. Understand where you're at. Don't just go through life not understanding, like, I'm part of this great, big world, Because sometimes I think people just are just there. They're just living. They're not participating.
Correct.
And there's a big difference between living life and just going through life.
I agree.
So I don't know. I personally feel like part of what we should do within the community, and if we have the knowledge and the means to pass it on, is to let the rest of the community benefit from the things that we know.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, great. Well, Mr. Johnson, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to Mr. Gene Joseph for inviting me down. Thank you so much. Heartfelt appreciation.
Oh, well, it's our part, and we really appreciate it. This is the end of our show. Hope that you enjoyed it, because we did. We will be here next Tuesday, same place, same time, doing the same thing. Talk to you then. See you later. Bye-bye.